With the Las Vegas Raiders now officially eliminated from playoff contention, it was like 4 hours after we put out that video about what they needed to do to make the playoffs too. That's just our luck. That's why we don't gamble. But overall, the Raiders are in a spot where you're 7-9. You probably are not going to retain most of this coaching staff. Maybe you will. I don't know. Nobody really knows at this point. But one thing is for certain: you want a win to be able to kind of put that on the resume, another feather in the cap, if you will, if you are Pierce or Antonio Pierce and the rest of this coaching staff. But also, I feel like if they're confident with where they are as a coaching staff, which I don't know that they should be, I also feel like they need to play some young guys. So yes, you want the win to be able to put the knot in the cap and the feather there. But there's also some guys that I need to see. I need to see get in against the Denver Broncos for Week 18. So here we go. Here's the list of players to watch. This first one, not necessarily that much of a shocker, Aiden O'Connell. So yes, he's been starting basically since they fired Josh McDaniels and company. So, I mean, this one isn't much of a shocker, but I really want to keep an eye on Aiden O'Connell and what he can do to make this offense more efficient, make this offense be more fine-tuning, and really put it in position to score more. So, because again, I don't think there's going to be any guarantee as to what goes down next year. It really is yours and my guess as to who will be the starting quarterback and really who will be the head coach and all of that stuff. So Aiden O'Connell really has himself an opportunity here to not only make a name for himself, but continue to improve and show what he can do in the National Football League, even though there's been some ups and there's been some downs. But I definitely think that he needs to be a guy that we keep a close eye on throughout the entire game, even though we know he's going to start. It is what it is. Wide receiver Trey Tucker. So Trey Tucker has been flirting with getting more and more opportunities the entire season long. I want to see him be the featured numero uno wide receiver for this entire season. There's no reason for Devontae Adams to start this game, or at least not play a ton. Yes, maybe you want to win the game, fine. I don't care if he plays. But at the end of the day, Trey Tucker needs at least 10 targets. I want to see what he can do, both in terms of stretching the field. I want to see how he's improved as a route runner. I want to see him getting some shallow crossers. I mean, just Trey Tucker needs to get the ball a lot more, just so we can kind of see, is he going to be that one-on-one replacement for Hunter Renfrow moving forward. Also, Michael Mayer. So this is if and when, hopefully he comes back from the concussion. When he's been in, to me, he's been a bright spot, but at the same time, I just need him to stay healthy. If he's in and he's healthy and ready to go, I want to see him on the field. I want him getting at least 5 targets as well. Defensive end Tyree Wilson, who to me has been kind of a disappointment this year. I feel like he's a guy that really needs to start and play the entire game. I want to see him because at this point, Malcolm Kuntz has earned himself a second contract with the Raiders, and Tyree Wilson, I don't think he's earned being the starter for the Raiders moving forward, even though he's a top 10 pick in this last year's draft. So it doesn't matter to me. I think that you have to let him play the entire game because we know what we got in Malcolm Kuntz. He's going to be a solid pass rusher, a solid starter for many years to come. But Tyree Wilson, he is Schrodinger's defensive end right now. We really don't know what he's going to be. The running back Zamir White, he's shown over the last couple of weeks he can shoulder the load for Josh Jacobs, and he can be a lot cheaper option for you, so you can build around a lot of different key positions, specifically on defense. So Zamir White, I want to see him get one more game, so he's got that. He's got 3 straight games of showing you he can be that number one. And then, unfortunately, even though I love Josh Jacobs, this might be the year that he is gone as well. Safety Christopher Smith II. So this one is kind of puzzling to me because, yes, he's been on special teams the entire year, but he really hasn't been given a lot of opportunities on defense. I think he's only played like a handful of snaps, if that. I think it might be only one against the Chargers. But anyway, Marcus Epps and company, Trayvon Morgan is what it is at this point. I want to see the former standout Bulldog that won a couple of national titles with Georgia over the last couple of years. I want to see him get on the field. I want to see him go up against tight ends. I want to see him cover running backs coming out of the backfield. We need to see this guy more in action to know what we have. And if he's a career special teamer, I'm okay with that too. Tackle Thayer Munford, so actually played pretty well from what I had seen against the Indianapolis Colts. So honestly, a former 7th round pick is a guy that hasn't been given opportunities, but overall he's been pretty solid this year. I would like to see him start and just play the full game just to see what we can get. Is he going to be that starter at right tackle for you opposite of Colton Miller next season? We'll see, but I specifically think that Jermaine Illuminar, I don't know if he's going to be back next year. I want to see Thayer Munford get more of a chance, so maybe he can take over that starting spot. Cornerback Jacorian Bennett. So the corners this year, I mean, Jack Jones has been pretty solid. Like, he has been a fantastic find for the Raiders, but I want to see how the rest of these young guys really do take care of business, and Jacorian Bennett is one of those guys. He's got speed for days. The question is, can he hold up in the NFL going up against those taller wide receivers that can run just like him? I want to see what they have in him, and if he's a career special teamer, fine, not really that worried about it, but we need to see more from the speedster. Defensive tackle Byron Young. So The Raiders' defensive line, aside from guys like Malcolm Kuntz and Max Crosby, and to a degree guys like Adam Butler as well, it's been kind of up in the air. It hasn't been great, and I think that they are in a position where we really need to see more from Byron Young. We need to see him I want to see his versatility specifically, because I think he can play inside and outside at defensive end and defensive tackle. Maybe do you start him at maybe do you also maybe try him at middle backer? Probably not. But I really want to see how he does fit into this defense in the future, because I mean, the guy, a former third-round pick, there's got to be something we can get out of him. But at the end of the day, I think that this Broncos game is going to give the Raiders a great opportunity to see what they have for talent on the roster right now. Even though, yes, the coaches might not be around, but overall, you can at least see the talent you have, what the new coaching staff will have to work with, and hopefully it'll just be teach tape moving forward. But hey, let us know what you guys think about the Raiders needing to play young guys against the Broncos. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and thank you guys for joining us.